Did you know you don't have to keep those heavy Elder Scrolls in your inventory? If you go to the College of Winterhold, and you go into the Hall of the Elements, and then you immediately make a right and go into the Arcanium, you can go talk to Urag. From here you can ask him if he would be interested in buying an Elder Scroll. After some dialogue, he'll give you 2,000 gold and the Elder Scroll will be removed from your inventory. Did you know you can get a unicorn in Skyrim Anniversary Edition? To get it, you'll need to go to the College of Winterhold, and then you'll need to enter the Arcanium and go to the desk. On this desk is where you'll find Soren's journal. Reading the journal will start the quest Creature of Legend. This quest will take you east of Riften, where you will find the unicorn. You will need to tame the unicorn by mounting it several times. Once you've tamed it, you can take it to any stable and have a saddle and armor placed on it. Did you know in Skyrim, each questline has their own quest banners? So for example, the Totems of Hircine quest from the Companions Guild has a wolf-like figure on each side of the quest. And then the Dragon Slayer quest from the main quest line has dragons on each side of it. And then the same thing for the Hunting the Monster quest from the Dawnguard questline. It has a vampire and a shield from the Dawnguard. Did you know you can get a Sigil Stone from the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion in Skyrim? In order to get one, you'll need to get your Conjuration skill to level 100. After that, you'll need to go to the College of Winterhold and talk to Finis Gester. He will send you to the top of the College of Winterhold, where you will need to bend a Dremora to your will. This Dremora will then bring back a Sigil Stone from Oblivion. Did you know you can find the mead with juniper berries that Ralof talks about at the beginning of Skyrim? If you return to Helgen after the dragon attack and you go to the tower that you jumped out of before, you can jump across into the inn, and then inside of the inn is where you will find the mead with juniper berries. This mead restores 20 points of stamina, but it also causes you to regenerate your stamina 30% slower for 40 seconds. Did you know you can actually climb the battlements in Markarth? There are 3 different ways that you can enter the battlements. The first one is on the left side near this river here, and this leads up to a workbench, and then if you go further, it leads up into the battlements. The next way is to go by the stables and go up the side of the cliff here. There's a pathway that leads straight into the top of the battlements. And then the final way is to go up to the gate and then turn either left or right, and then you can enter the battlements that way as well. When you enter the battlements, you'll see an open area at the top where guards will be stationed. There are also some cool archer slits in some of the battlement areas. And then the coolest part about this is the grate above the door where you can shoot down on the enemies. Have you ever wondered what the worst spells are in Skyrim? Well, that's what we're talking about today, and the first one on the list here is water breathing. Not only is this spell made completely useless if you're an Argonian, but it can also be an enchantment, so there's not really any need to have the spell in the first place. I can't think of anywhere in Skyrim where you would even need this spell. Anywhere you're entering the water, you won't be under long enough to need this spell. And on top of all of that, you can't even cast the spell while underwater. Another one of the worst spells in the game is Clairvoyance. When this spell is cast, it shows you a path to your current objective. But this spell is made completely useless by quest markers. On top of that, it bugs out sometimes, and it doesn't show you the fastest route to your objective. And to make this spell even worse, you have to recast it every few feet. I'm going to show you where to find the worst iron battle axe in Skyrim. It's called the Woodsman's Friend. And while it seems like it's better over the normal battle axe because of the damage increase, it actually swings significantly slower. To find this battle axe, you're going to need to travel to Pine Watch. From Pine Watch, you're going to walk north until you get to these logs here. Once you get to these logs, you'll need to continue walking north until you get to this body here. And then on the ground next to the body is where you will find this axe. Did you know there's a Star Wars Easter egg in Skyrim? To find this Easter egg, you'll need to go to Bleak Coast Cave, which is to the southeast of Winterhold. Once you enter the cave, there will be some frost trolls that you will need to kill, but once you kill them, you can turn right at the tree and then go back through this pathway here. You will see a skeleton hanging from the ceiling, as well as a sword laying on the ground. This is a reference to Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, where Luke is stuck in the cave with the Wampa. Did you know there's a reference to the movie Poltergeist in Skyrim? To find this reference, you'll need to go to Markarth and then go to the abandoned house. And then as soon as you go inside, there will be a set of stacked chairs on top of a table. This is a direct reference to the stacked chair scene in Poltergeist. Did you know there's a Pac-Man Easter egg in Skyrim? To find this Easter egg, you'll need to travel to the city of Markarth. Once you've arrived in Markarth, you're going to go to Enden's house. And then if you go in the bedroom in the back, there will be a shelf, and on the bottom of that shelf is where you will find the Pac-Man reference. Did you know there's a hidden pickaxe on the throat of the world in Skyrim? If you make your way over to where Parthenax sits, and then you climb the rest of the way up the mountain, that's where you will find this unique pickaxe. And if you notice, it's called the Notched Pickaxe. This is a reference to Minecraft creator Marcus Pearson, also known as Notch. Did you know that you can find giant Nirnroot in Skyrim? And these Nirnroot aren't just for show. When you pick them, you'll actually get 2 Nirnroot instead of 1. You can find these giant Nirnroot in the far northeast of Solstheim, on an unmarked island. Just be careful when you get there, as there are a few Spriggans and a Spriggan matron. If you're seeking the most valuable gem in Skyrim, look no further. To get this gem, you'll need to travel east of Markarth to Kolskeggr Mine. Once you get there, you're going to go south across the bridge and follow the rocks on the left until you get to this spot here, and then jump down into the water. In the water, you will see the wreckage of a rowboat, and on this rowboat is where you will find a couple of other gems, but the main gem that you're looking for is the Flawless Diamond. If you guys know of any other locations, leave it in the comments below. What happens if you wait too long in Helgen? I wanted to find out, so I started a new game. After that, I went through the tutorial until you have to decide whether you want to go with Hadvar or Ralof. And then I just stood outside and waited to see what would happen. And not a lot happened at first. But then Alduin started using the Unrelenting Force shout and shouting me around. He eventually landed and then did this. And that's what happens if you wait too long in Helgen. Did you know about this vampire-themed house in Skyrim Anniversary Edition? To get it, you'll first need to reach level 12, and then a courier will bring you a note called Dinner Invitation. It is worth noting that you can get two versions of this quest, depending on whether you are a vampire or not, but the end result is the same. After receiving this quest, you'll need to go to Bloodchill Cavern and complete the quest inside. This house comes complete with many places to store named items that you find throughout Skyrim, such as the Dragon Priest masks and then a lot of the items from the Dawnguard DLC. You can also place your jar of insects, as well as your dragon claws. It also comes with all of the crafting stations. Did you know that the vampire cattle in Skyrim actually make some really strange noises when you try and talk to them? You may want to turn up your volume because this can be kind of hard to hear. Did you know you can use items directly from containers in Skyrim? In order to do this, you're going to hold shift and then left click on the item that you want to use. This not only works on food, but also ingredients and potions as well. This trick can save you time by making it so that you don't have to leave the container and then go to your inventory and use the item that way. Did you know you can unlock every spell and shout in Skyrim by using the console command window? You can even use some of the spells and shouts that were cut from the game. For example, you can use the catapult projectile spell, which really just fires the catapults that you see during the Civil War questline. And then you have some unnamed spells and shouts that appear above all of the others. There's one that heals the caster for 1500 points and it costs 0 magicka. And there's another unnamed spell that I wanted to talk about, and the only thing that this one provides is a description that says, talk to Marky Poo about this one. And then when you cast it, it actually paralyzes you. I wonder what the backstory behind this one is. Did you miss this unique detail that Bethesda added to Skyrim? If you're in Riverwood and you go across the bridge, you will see a tree stump. If you go close to it and you crouch down, you can actually see ants crawling on the tree stump. Here's even more thief tips you probably didn't know about in Skyrim. If you've traveled around Skyrim long enough, you've probably seen these symbols on the outside of shops. The game never actually tells you what they are unless you find a certain book. This book can be found in the Ragged Flag and Cistern if you're part of the Thieves Guild. The title of this book is Shadow Marks, and it shows you what each of these symbols mean. Some of the symbols tell you if there's dangers ahead, if it's a safe house, or if there's valuable loot inside. So these symbols can be invaluable to a thief. If you have stolen items that you want to keep, all you'll need to do is find a fence. Once you do that, you'll need to sell them the item and then buy it back to remove the stolen icon. If you have a bow and arrow, you can shoot the arrows at the ground and the enemies will search for the noise. You can use this technique to lure enemies through a dungeon, killing them in their own traps. Torches in Skyrim have some pretty cool secrets that you probably didn't know about. For example, if you have a torch equipped and you shield bash with it, you have a chance of catching an enemy on fire. Torches are also the only item in the miscellaneous section that can be favorited. You can also remove torches from sconces to make the area easier to hide in. Or you could do the opposite and replace the torch to make the area brighter. And then something that probably was not intended, you can also drop a torch in the water and it will not go out. And then there is a secret torch in Hroldolf's house on Solstheim. This torch adds dynamic shadows to things that other torches simply don't. Torches also cannot be bought from any merchant in the game. You also can't zoom in on torches like you can with other items. Another thing about torches is that they have a duration of 4 minutes. But like most things in Skyrim, you can cheese this by unequipping and re-equipping your torch. This will reset the timer on the torch so that it basically will never go out. Or if you don't want to worry about unequipping and re-equipping the torch, you can also give it to your follower and they have an infinite duration when they're holding it.
Did you know that the Mysterium Xerxes in Skyrim, that was once able to open a portal to Mankar Cameron's paradise, simply turns into a bucket when you hit it with a flame spell?
Did you know the worst weapon in Skyrim does 1 damage and it's not even upgradable? What is this weapon, you might ask? Well, you might be thinking the wooden sword, but you would be incorrect. It's actually a fork. That's right, some forks in Skyrim are actually equipable. You can find one of these by going to High Hrothgar and going to the courtyard and then making your way up towards the throat of the world. But once you reach the rope bridge, you can jump down and then you will find a fork and a knife by these rocks. However, you won't immediately be able to pick them up. You'll have to use either the Unrelenting Force Shout or the Telekinesis spell to move them. After you pick them up, you will see that the base damage of the fork is 1 damage, and despite it having base damage of 1, you can, however, make it do more damage. I know earlier I said it's not upgradable, but what I meant by that is you can't use smithing to upgrade it. However, certain perks like the Armsman perk at rank 5 will make it do 2 damage. And on top of that, you can enchant the fork, making it do extra damage based on your enchantment skill. The worst healing potion in Skyrim is the Falmer Blood Elixir. Despite Brynjolf's claims, this healing potion only heals you for 1 point. You can find this potion in Riften, in Helga's bunkhouse, on the nightstand beside her bed.
Did you know there's a dead guard below Dragon's Reach in Skyrim? At first glance, I thought maybe he heard something or saw something that he wasn't supposed to hear or see, and he was thrown from Dragon's Reach. My second thought was maybe he just slipped and fell, but as I dug a little deeper, it turns out he won't appear before you capture the dragon. That's because this guard that is found at the bottom of Dragon's Reach is actually the guard that is picked up by the dragon and dropped. Did you know that the child Hamming actually survives the events at the start of Skyrim? You can find him at Froki's shack. When you get there, you will learn that both of his parents have died and he is now staying with his grandfather.
Did you know about this Reekling Shrine in Skyrim? Some players say that it resembles Santa's sleigh, and some players say that it resembles the carriage that the Dragonborn arrives in Skyrim on. And while we may never know what the shrine truly represents, we do know that the Reeklings worship it. And if you want to know where to find this shrine, it can be located in Frostle Cave on Solstheim. Did you know about this hidden staff in Skyrim? To find it, you'll need to go to the Twilight Sepulchre. Once you get there, you're going to go east along this road, and you're going to hug the hill on the left. This will take you to the top of the hill where there is an opening. And in this open area is where you will find a ritual site with an arrow, a skill book, a skull, and then the staff. And while there isn't anything particularly unique about this staff, it is still a cool find. Do dragons annoy you in Skyrim? Well, if you didn't know, the Dragon Rising quest is what activates the dragon spawning in Skyrim. This is the quest where you meet Irileth outside of the Western Watchtower. So as long as you avoid this main quest, you'll never have dragons in your Skyrim game. Did you know you can speed up the time it takes to wait in Skyrim? When selecting how long you want to wait, if you drag the slider to how many hours you want to wait, and you continue holding the left mouse button, you can press enter to start waiting, but if you're still holding the left mouse button, you can then drag it to the left, and that will speed up the time. Sneaking can be incredibly slow in Skyrim, but if you unsheath your weapon, you'll move faster. But there's a way to move even faster than that while sneaking. You're going to need to go to the block skill tree and get the block runner perk. And then with the shield equipped, if you hold block, you will move way faster than you did before. Did you know you can sneak faster in Skyrim? Here's how. All you're going to do is unsheath your weapon, and that will make you sneak significantly faster than if you had your weapon sheathed while sneaking. If you want to start a new game in Skyrim, but you don't want to go through the intro, what you'll need to do is open up the console command window while you're at the main menu screen, and then type in COC space Riverwood, and then hit enter. This will spawn you just outside of Riverwood as a default Nord character. It will also spawn you with a full set of iron armor and some iron weapons as well. You'll also come equipped with a few potions, as well as your character's racial power and then the flames and healing spell. And you can actually go back to Helgen and you'll see some Imperials as well as some Stormcloaks just hanging out. The town is completely untouched because the dragon never attacked. But be aware when you do this, you will not be able to start the main quest line unless you use another console command. Did you know about this unique two-handed sword in Skyrim Anniversary Edition? It's called Chrysamere, and you can find it at Forelhost, southeast of Riften. Once you get to Forelhost, you'll need to kill a unique ghost called the Lost Paladin, and on the body of this ghost is where you will find this sword. It has 3 different effects which give you 15% resistance to fire, 10% absorption of magic, and you also regen health slowly during combat. Did you know there's a gold ring hidden in the well in Whiterun? The only way to get to it is by toggling clipping, and you can do this by opening the console command window and typing TCL and then hitting enter, and then you are free to go beneath the map and acquire this ring. This ring doesn't have any enchantments or any unique effects, just something most players miss. When you first get to Markarth in Skyrim, there will be a forsworn agent that kills a lady named Margaret. But did you know it's possible to save her? In order to do this, as soon as you get to Markarth, you're going to immediately pull out your weapon and attack the forsworn agent. After that, he will stop attacking Margaret and he'll start attacking you and the guards. As a reward for saving her, Margaret will give you a valuable necklace. Here's even more thief tips you probably didn't know about in Skyrim. So if you're in an area where it's difficult to steal an item, all you're going to do is hold E on the item and that will let you carry it. And this won't count as stealing it, and you can actually drag it back to a safer area, that way you can steal it. If a merchant keeps spotting you while you try and steal from their store, all you have to do is grab a pot or a kettle or something similar. And then if you hold it and place it over their head, it'll actually block their sight. This will make it a lot easier to steal for a short period of time. Did you know you can stash all of your stolen items before being arrested? And then after serving your time or paying the fine, you can go back to the chest or barrel or whatever you stored it in, and your stolen items will still be there. Forsworn Briarhearts can be a tough enemy to fight in Skyrim. But did you know if you pickpocket the Briarheart out of their inventory, they instantly die? This is because the Briarheart in the inventory actually serves as the NPC's heart. And the cool thing about this is you can actually see where the Briarheart was located in their chest cavity. This unique effect in Skyrim makes your healing spells 10% more effective. To get this effect, you'll need to go southeast of Dawnstar to Frostflow Lighthouse. Once inside, you'll need to get the key to the basement of the lighthouse. This key can be found inside of a burial urn on top of the fireplace. Once you're inside of the basement, you'll need to fight Falmer and some other enemies. But the enemy you're looking for is the giant Chorus Reaper. This enemy has Hab's remains inside of its inventory. You'll need to take these remains to the top of the lighthouse and throw it in the lighthouse brazier. Once you do that, you'll get the unique effect Sailor's Repose. Did you know about this one-of-a-kind ring in Skyrim? To find it, you'll need to go to Castle Volkihar and go to Lord Harkon's chambers. It will be in the first display case when you get to the top of the stairs. This ring is called the Bonehawk ring, and while it doesn't have any sort of unique enchantments, it is the only one that can be found in the game. And what's cool about this ring is it actually takes up 3 of the character's fingers, and it looks like a bird's talons. Have you ever felt that mining was slow in Skyrim? Well, if you didn't know, you can dual-wield pickaxes and strike the ore and gain it pretty quickly that way, or you can cook and eat vegetable soup, which will give you infinite stamina, and then with your pickaxe equipped, you can shield bash with it, and this will allow you to mine the ore incredibly fast. Did you know mannequins hide a secret in Skyrim? They are actually just NPCs with the AI processing turned off. If you want to see this for yourself, you can use the console command window, and then you're going to click on the mannequin. Once you do that, you're going to type TAI. Once you do that, the mannequin will start moving around like a normal NPC, although it won't walk around like a typical NPC. Are you tired of your horse swimming slowly in Skyrim? Well, you can fix this by making your horse walk on water. It sounds crazy, but if you dismount your horse in the water and then remount it, your horse can now walk on water. Did you know there's a way to make stealing way easier in Skyrim? Here's how. So if you're in an area where it's difficult to steal an item, all you're going to do is hold E on the item and that will let you carry it. And this won't count as stealing it, and you can actually drag it back to a safer area, that way you can steal it. Here's a way to make soul trapping simpler in Skyrim, so you can focus on fighting rather than casting soul trap. Now while you can enchant a sword with the soul trap enchantment, that requires you to refill the enchantment on your weapon. So what we're going to do instead is get the Soul Stealer perk in the Conjuration tree, and this will allow bound weapons to cast soul trap on targets. So then anytime that you have a free soul gem in your inventory and you kill an enemy with the bound weapon, that will fill that soul gem. Did you know in Skyrim, if you drop valuable items on the ground, NPCs will sometimes fight over it? I found that the easiest place to do this is inside of the Bee and Barb in Riften. But be careful when you do this because the NPCs will sometimes kill each other. Are you having a tough time collecting insects in Skyrim? In order to make them easier to collect, all you're going to do is use the Unrelenting Force Shout, and this will kill the insect and drop their ingredients on the ground. This also works on some types of fish. Did you know that there is a double of Lord Harkon underneath Castle Volkihar? To access this double, you'll first need to enter Castle Volkihar and then use the console command window. And then you'll need to type in TCL and hit enter and then go underneath the map, and that is where you will find the double of Lord Harkon. My understanding of why this double is here is because when Lord Harkon is in his normal form, the Vampire Lord form is in the bottom portion of the map, and then his normal portion is above the map. And this works the other way around too. Do you want to level your speech fast in Skyrim? Here's how. The first thing you're going to do is head over to the Guardian Stones and pick up the Thief Stone. This will give you a 20% XP boost to your Thief skills, and that includes the speech skill. After that, you're going to go to the Shrine of Azura, south of Winterhold, and then you're going to talk to Aranea. She will give you a quest that will send you to the inn in Winterhold, and then once you're inside, you're going to talk to the Mage Nelikar. You're going to go through the dialogue options with him until you get to the Intimidate, and then you're going to select that option and then immediately back out. And then when you go back into the dialogue, you should be able to intimidate him again and just keep repeating this process over and over until you get your desired speech level. Do you want to level your smithing skill fast in Skyrim? Here's how. The first thing you're going to do is head over to the Guardian Stones and grab the Warrior Stone. This will give you a 20% XP boost to all combat skills, and that includes your smithing. For the next part of this, you're going to go to the north of Whiterun to the Halted Stream Camp, and then you're going to get the Transmutation spell. This allows you to transmute iron ore into silver ore, and then silver ore into gold ore. And then next we're going to go to Coalscatter Mine, and then travel south across the bridge, and then just follow the rock line on the left until you see the boat in the water, and then you're going to jump down. And then inside the boat is where you will find a flawless diamond, and you're just going to pick that up. After this, you're going to go to Whiterun and buy some iron ore from Adrian. And then you're going to use the transmute spell to transmute the iron ore into the gold ore. And then you'll use the smelter to turn that into gold ingots. And then you'll use the duplication glitch to duplicate the gold ingots as well as the flawless diamonds. After this, you're going to go to the forge and then just craft as many gold diamond necklaces as you can. Do you want to level your pickpocket skill fast in Skyrim? Here's how. The first thing you're going to want to do is head over to Windhelm. Once you get there, you're going to find Silda the Unseen, and then you're going to have her train you in pickpocket one time, and then you're going to sneak behind her and steal the gold back. It's probably best to quick save before doing this though. And then you just rinse and repeat this process until you get the pickpocket skill level that you want. Do you want to level your one-handed and two-handed skill in Skyrim? Here's how. The first thing we're going to do is head over to the Guardian Stones and pick up the Warrior Stone. This will give us a 20% XP boost to all of our warrior skills. Next, we're going to head over to the Whiterun stables and then buy a horse from the stable master. And then we're going to take the horse out into the wilderness away from other NPCs. And once you're in the wilderness, you're going to continuously attack the horse with your one-handed or two-handed weapon, and this will increase the skill level. Do you want to level your lockpicking skill fast in Skyrim? Here's how. The first thing you're going to do is head over to the Guardian Stones and pick up the Thief Stone. This will give you a 20% XP boost to all stealth skills. That includes lockpicking. And then you're going to fast travel to Solitude and wait until nighttime. And then you're going to sneak through town and pick every lock that you find. Once you've picked every lock, you can wait 24 hours and then do it all over again. Do you want to level your light armor and heavy armor skill in Skyrim? Here's how. The first thing you're going to do is head over to the Guardian Stones and grab the Warrior Stone if you're leveling heavy armor, and grab the Thief Stone if you're leveling light armor. These stones give you a 20% XP increase to your light armor or heavy armor. After that, we're going to put the game on Novice difficulty, and then you're going to make sure that you are dual casting healing spells. After that, you're going to find a giant camp. There is one in walking distance to the west of Whiterun. And then as the giants hit you, you're just going to cast the healing spell to make sure that you don't die. And if the giants become too much, you can always go to Labyrinthian and find a frost troll there instead of a giant. With the frost troll, there's less a chance of it killing you, but it also levels you slightly slower. Do you want to level your illusion skill fast in Skyrim? Here's how. The first thing you're going to want to do is head on up to Dragon's Reach. Once you do that, you're going to talk to Farengar, the court wizard, and you're going to buy his courage spell. After you've gotten the spell, you can cast it on your horse, or you can cast it on any friendly animal or NPC that you find. The first thing you're going to want to do is head on up to Dragonweech. You head out to Dragonweech. Do you want to level your enchanting skill fast in Skyrim? Here's how. The first thing you're going to do is head over to the Guardian Stones and get the Mage Stone. This will give you a 20% increase to all of your magic related abilities. After that, we're going to travel to Dawnstar and go to the secret chest by the mine, and we're going to grab at least one enchanted weapon. After that, we're going to go to Whiterun and talk to Adrian Avenici, and then we're going to buy out her entire stock of iron ingots and leather strips. After that, we're going to quick save and then attack her and then reload the game, and that should reset her stock, and then you can just keep buying the iron ingots and leather strips and just repeating that process. After this, you're going to go to the forge and then craft 100 iron daggers. After that, you're going to go to Dragonreach and talk to Farengar, and then you're going to buy out his stock of filled petty soul gems, and then you're going to do the same thing that you did with Adrian, and do this until you have about 100 petty soul gems. And then you can go to the enchanting table and disenchant that weapon we picked up earlier, and then with your iron daggers and petty soul gems, you're going to use that enchantment to craft as many of those as you can. Do you want to level your destruction skill fast in Skyrim? Here's how. The first thing you're going to do is head over to Dragon's Reach. After that, you're going to go talk to the court wizard Farengar, and then you're going to buy the highest damage dealing destruction spell that you can cast effectively. And then if he's selling any destruction robes, you're going to buy one of those. And then before we continue any further, you're going to head down to the Guardian Stones and pick up the Mage Stone, and that will give you a 20% boost to all your magic related skills. After that, we're going to get a horse. You can get one from the Whiterun stables if you need, and then we're going to take it out into the wilderness away from other NPCs, and then we're going to change the difficulty to Adept. This makes it so that you still do a decent amount of damage without killing your horse. And then you're just going to keep attacking the horse with the destruction spell that you chose. Feel free to experiment with this. I did use an electrical rune and then activate it with the spark spell, and that seemed to increase my destruction spell a little bit faster. Do you want to level your conjuration skill fast in Skyrim? Here's how. The first thing you're going to do is head over to Dragon's Reach and talk to Farengar, and then you're going to buy the Soul Trap spell from him. After that, you're going to get yourself a horse. You can get one from the Whiterun stables if you need to, but then you're just going to cast the Soul Trap spell on them. Alternatively, you can cast the Soul Trap spell on any dead enemy, and this will also increase the skill. Have you ever wanted to level your block skill fast in Skyrim? Here's how. The first thing you're going to do is head over to the Guardian Stones and pick up the Warrior Stone. After that, you're going to find a Giant's Camp. There's one located to the west of Whiterun called Bleakwind Basin. Once you travel there, make sure you have the difficulty set to Novice, and then you're going to aggro a giant and block all of its hits. And if the rate at which you're leveling slows down, you can always increase the difficulty to increase the amount of damage and experience you get. You're also going to want to run a healing spell so you can stay alive longer. And then every chance you get, you're going to want to grab the Shield Wall perk. And don't forget, with every character level, you can upgrade your block skill 5 times by going to Morkazgr in the top left corner of the map and talking to Larak. And that is how you can level your block skill quickly in Skyrim. Do you want to level archery fast in Skyrim? Here's how. The first thing you're going to want to do is go to the College of Winterhold, and then you're going to find Finis Gester, and then you're going to buy the Bound Bow spell. After that, you're going to head up to High Hrothgar. Once you get there, you're going to look around until you find a Greybeard that is meditating. Once you do that, you can equip the Bound Bow and then sneak and then just keep attacking the Greybeard. And they shouldn't die if you have this on legendary difficulty. And just keep doing this until you get to level 100. Do you want to level up your alchemy skill fast in Skyrim? Here's how. You'll need to get yourself 4 pieces of Fortify alchemy gear. It's best if they have the 25% increase. And once you've got those crafted, you're going to equip them. And then you're going to go to the Riften Fishery and look for the fish barrels. And what you're looking for inside of these barrels is the Abyssian Longfins, and you're looking for the Cyrodiilic Spadetails. Once you've done that, you can go back to Whiterun and do the duplication glitch to get 100 of each. And then you're going to find an alchemy table and use the Abyssian Longfin and the Cyrodiilic Spadetail to make a Fortify Restoration Potion. And then you're going to back out of the alchemy menu and then drink the restoration potion and then unequip your alchemy gear. And then after you've unequipped your gear, you're going to re-equip it and then repeat this process. And each time you'll see the percentage on the potion increase. And then every chance you get, you're going to want to get the Alchemist perk in the skill tree. Once I got the potion up to 200,000%, I just started crafting the potions, and that leveled me up to 100. Did you know there's a way to level your sneak to 100 before you even leave Helgen? Once you create your character, you're going to need to follow the tutorial until you get to the cave with the bear. But do not attack the bear or go any further. Instead, what you're going to do is crouch down behind either Ralof or Hadvar, and then you're just going to sneak attack whichever one you chose repeatedly, and this is how you level your sneak skill before you even leave Helgen. Did you know you can level sneak at the start of the game in Skyrim? In order to do this, you're going to need to choose Ralof when you're escaping Helgen. As soon as you are unbound, you will be attacked by some Imperial soldiers. You're going to need to kill the Imperial captain that is with them. And then before Ralof can search the Imperial captain, you're going to need to loot her and then take the Helgen Keep key. This makes it so that Ralof cannot open the gate and continue escaping Helgen. He will then stand beside the gate and you can sneak behind him and continuously attack him. You can easily get sneak to 100 this way. Did you know you can level sneak before you even leave Helgen? This method requires you to choose Hadvar when you're escaping Helgen. You'll need to make your way down to the Torturer's Chamber. Once you're there, you're going to need to grab the Iron Dagger off of the desk, and then wait for Hadvar and everyone else in the room to exhaust their dialogue options. After that, the Torturer will go to the furthest cage on the left. You'll need to hide in the shadows behind him, but if he keeps looking at you, you'll need to break his ankles a little bit. This may take a few times, but once you get it, you'll be able to level your sneak skill fast. Do you want to level your restoration skill fast in Skyrim? Here's how. The first thing you're going to do is head over to the College of Winterhold. Once you're there, you're going to go to the Hall of Countenance, and then you're going to find Colette Marantz, and then you're going to buy her Repel Lesser Undead spell. And then if she's selling any restoration robes, you're going to buy those as well. Next, we're going to go to the southwest of Iverstead to an unmarked location. And I couldn't find the correct way to get up here, so I just scaled the mountain. Once you get up here, you're going to equip your restoration robe. And then if you encounter a dragon or draugr, you're just going to kill them. But any skeletons you see, you're going to keep them alive. Once you get a bunch of skeletons grouped up, you're just going to continuously cast the Repel Undead spell on them, and that will quickly level your restoration skill. Are you looking for a way to level your alteration skill fast in Skyrim? Here's how. The first thing you're going to want to do is head on over to the College of Winterhold. After that, you're going to find Tolfdir and buy his water breathing spell. After you buy the spell, you're going to find any body of water that you can stand up in, and then you're just going to repeatedly cast this spell. And that's how you can level your alteration skill quickly in Skyrim. Here's how to level your alteration skill fast in Skyrim. First, you'll need to head over to Dragon's Reach and talk to the court mage Farengar, and then you're going to buy the Mage Light spell tome. After you've learned the spell, you're going to go outside of the main gate to Solitude here, and then you're going to wait until nighttime. If you look left of the Solitude gate and aim your cursor right at the top of this mountain, you can cast Mage Light, and that will level your alteration skill fast. If you kill an NPC in Skyrim and you wait a few days, you can go to the Hall of the Dead in the city where you killed them, and inside you'll find an urn with their name on it. The urn also holds all of their belongings that you didn't take off of their body. Did you know you can reset a shop's inventory in Skyrim without even waiting? To do this, you're going to quick save, and then after you've quick saved, you're going to attack the shopkeeper, and then you're going to reload the quick save that you just made, and then you will see that the shopkeeper's inventory is restocked. And you can repeat this as many times as you want.
When you're in werewolf form in Skyrim, normally you can't equip any armor, and the armor you had on before you transformed is unequipped. But if you talk to your companion, as soon as you hit the transform button, you can actually equip armor. And to make this much cooler, you can equip as much armor as you want. As you can see here, I am equipping all kinds of jewelry and armor, and I actually got my armor rating up to 700. And I did all of this as a werewolf.
Did you know you can wear a helmet and a Dragon Priest mask at the same time in Skyrim? This can only be done if you're wearing either the Falmer helmet or the Penitus Oculatus helmet. Instead of a Dragon Priest mask though, you can also wear a circlet with this. So instead of only having one enchanted item on your head, you can have up to 2. Did you know you can walk underwater in Skyrim? First you'll need to get your hands on an Elder Scroll. And once you've done that, you're going to need to go underwater and then read the Elder Scroll. After you read it, the game will bug out and you'll be able to walk underwater. Just be careful if you're not an Argonian. Did you know you can speed up the game in Skyrim? If you're on PC, you can do this by pressing Control and print screen. This doubles the game's speed, allowing you to move faster as well as making the environment move faster around you. In Skyrim, Isolde mentions that she wants to save up enough money to buy the Bannered Mare. But did you know if you kill the current owner of the Bannered Mare, Isolde will then take over the tavern? Just make sure that you wait a few days in game for Isolde to take over. Did you know you can get an Elven crossbow as well as an Ebony crossbow in Skyrim Anniversary Edition? To get them, you'll first need to head up to Ironback Hideout, which is to the northwest of Solitude. Once you get there, there will be a note on the table that starts the quest Night Hunter. This quest will take you south of the Thalmor Embassy to some charred remains. On these remains is where you will find the key to Ironback Hideout. Once you get back to Ironback Hideout, the cellar will be under this tent here. Once you get into the cellar is where you will find these 2 crossbows. And if we compare their stats, the Elven crossbow does 28 damage, the Ebony crossbow does 30 damage, while the standard crossbow only does 23. Did you know you can get 2 free horses in Skyrim at any point in the game? For the first horse, you'll need to go to Katla's farm. This is the stables just outside of Solitude. And all you'll need to do to get a free horse is to pick 1 potato plant and then sell it to Katla. After that, you can take any horse in the stable. And you can tell the horse counts as yours because when you fast travel, the horse will spawn with you. Although if you don't immediately mount it, it will automatically start trying to go back to the stables. And for the second free horse, you're going to need to go to the Riften Stables. You're going to need to talk to the stable master Hofgrir and initiate the brawl with him. Once you fight him and win the brawl, you will then be able to take any horse from this stable as well. And it's the same thing as the other horse where when you fast travel, it spawns with you. And then it will automatically start moving back towards the stables that it originated from. Did you know you can get a unique effect if you read all of the stone tablets on the way to High Hrothgar? This effect is called Voice of the Sky, and it makes it so animals will neither attack nor flee from you. This effect even makes it so vampires won't attack you. And what's really awesome about this effect is it lasts 24 real-life hours. And did I mention that this effect also applies to your followers? If you're a skooma enjoyer, you're going to love this. The rarest skooma in Skyrim is the double distilled skooma. There is only 1 bottle of it in the whole game, and it can be found in Windhelm. You'll need to go to the Windhelm docks and talk to the Argonian by the name of Stands in Shallows. He will give you a miscellaneous quest to go to the new Nissus Corner Club and acquire this skooma. You can choose to keep this skooma for yourself or give it to the Argonian. Did you know you can get a set of Thalmor robes early in Skyrim? To get these robes, you'll first need to make your way to the Guardian Stones. From here, you're going to travel up the road towards Helgen, and then when you get to the split in the road, you're going to take the road to the right, and then continue along this road until you get to this path that leads up this hill here. And once you get to the top of the path, you will see a shrine to Talos, where a few Talos worshippers have been massacred. And among these dead bodies will be the Thalmor soldier that killed them, and on his body you can find a note that tells exactly what happened here, and you can take his robes. Normally, boots in Skyrim can't be enchanted with Fortify Smithing. However, if you go to Radiant Raiments in Solitude and talk to the shopkeeper, you can buy the Captain's Boots. These are the only boots that you can enchant with Fortify Smithing. So instead of having 4 pieces of gear with Fortify Smithing, you can have 5. Did you know you can get a bone wolf as a pet in Skyrim Anniversary Edition? To get this pet, you'll first need to have completed the quest The Wolf Queen Awakened. After that, a courier will arrive giving you a letter from Bulgir Bearclaw. Once you read that letter, it will start the quest Let Sleeping Wolves Lie. This will lead you to Folgunthur right outside of Solitude. Once you get there, you will fight a few thrall wolves as well as a necromancer. Once you kill the necromancer, you can loot them and take the totem bone as well as the key to the cage. You can then go to the cage, open it, and then give the totem to the dog, and then it will become your lifelong friend. You will also be given a spell to teleport the dog to you from anywhere. Did you know you can get a pirate ship as your house in Skyrim Anniversary Edition? To get it, you'll first need to go to Solitude and enter the Winking Skeever, and then read the book on the table called Restless. This will start you on a quest that will lead you to the pirate ship. You will need to clear the ship of enemies for it to become your home. During this process, you will get a pretty cool looking sword as well as some unique pirate clothes. After you've cleared the ship, you will need to go back to town and then wait a few days for a courier to bring you a letter. This letter will tell you to go back to the pirate ship and claim it as your house. Did you know you can duplicate items in Skyrim? The first thing you're going to need to do is get yourself a companion. Any companion will work. And then you're going to need to head to Whiterun. Once you're in Whiterun, you're going to drop the item that you want to duplicate. And then you're going to have your follower wait next to the item and then pick it up. And then you're going to leave Whiterun through the gate and then immediately go back inside. When you go back inside, the item will be on the ground as well as in your follower's inventory. And you can repeat this as many times as you want. Did you know you can create auroras at night in Skyrim? You can do this by equipping the Clear Skies shout and then shouting into the sky at night. This will clear the sky of clouds and create beautiful auroras. Did you know you can change the race of your mannequins in Skyrim? You can do this by pressing the tilde key and opening the console command window, and then you're going to click on the mannequin. After that, you're going to type set race, and then space, and then the race that you want the mannequin to be. But be aware this can be really buggy and cause some weird looking mannequins. Did you know you can completely avoid taking any fall damage in Skyrim? You can do this by eating Netch Jelly right before you hit the ground. This paralyzes your character and makes it so that you don't take any fall damage. Did you know about this hidden encounter in Skyrim? In order to find it, you'll need to go southeast of Markarth to Bard's Leap Summit. Once you get there, you're going to need to go across the stone bridge until you get to the plank. After that, you're going to jump off into the water below. Once you get out of the water, you'll find a bard named Azadal, and he is the one that attempted the jump before you. Did you know you can get a Giant's Club for your companion in Skyrim? You'll need to go to a Giant's camp called Tumblearch Pass to the northeast of Whiterun. Once you're at the Giant's camp, you're going to go to the west side of the camp and then go up the hill and then turn left. And you're going to make your way around to this brazier here. And then just beside that is where you will find the Giant's Club. And then you're just going to wait 1 hour for your companion to get up here. Once your companion is up here, you're going to tell them that you need them to do something. And then you're going to have them pick up the Giant's Club. And they will automatically equip it. Did you know that mammoths in Skyrim that are owned by giants will have marked tusks? If you're lucky enough to find an unowned mammoth, you can see that there are no markings on the tusks. You can also look at mammoth skeletons to see if they were owned or not. Did you know about this unique circlet in Skyrim that makes all of your spells cost less to cast? It's called the Diadem of the Savant, and normally you can only get it after you complete Shalador's Maze and Labyrinthian. However, the one I'm showing you how to get is much easier. You'll just need to go to Froki's Shack. Once you get to the shack, you'll need to go down the hill to the left, and then on the wood chopping block is where you will find this unique circlet. Do you want unlimited stamina for bash attacks and power attacks in Skyrim? Well, you're going to need to gather cabbage, potatoes, leeks, and tomatoes. The cabbage, leeks, and potatoes can be found on any of the farms around Skyrim. The tomatoes, however, are the only plant that you can't gather from the farms around Skyrim. You'll have to buy these in the general goods store. After you've gathered these ingredients, you're going to find a cooking station, and then you're going to craft the vegetable soup. This soup restores 1 point of stamina per second for 720 seconds, and this effectively makes it so that you have infinite bash attacks and two-handed attacks. You can get one of the best crossbows in Skyrim at the start of the game. That is, as long as you have some gold to hire a carriage and you have a few lockpicks. You'll need to hire that carriage to go to Solitude, and then go to the Fletcher. As soon as you go through the door, there will be a weapons case, and in this weapon case is where you will find the Daedric crossbow. The Daedric crossbow does 30 damage, whereas the standard crossbow only does 20. Did you know you can get a free bed in the Bannered Mare in Skyrim? Here's how. All you'll need to do is go into the city of Whiterun and go to the wood chopping block, and then just cut a few pieces of firewood. And then after that, you can go inside the Bannered Mare and talk to the innkeeper. And then if you sell the firewood to her, you can also go up to the second floor to the bedroom that she would normally sell to you for 10 gold, and it will be free to sleep in. Did you know you can get a free house from the start of the game in Skyrim? This is the Alchemist Shack, and it's located south of Ivarstead. This house features an unowned bed that the player can sleep in, as well as an end table that serves as a storage that does not respawn, meaning it won't reset your items. And then there's a garden in the back where you can farm alchemical ingredients. And speaking of alchemy, there is also an alchemy station at the back of the shack. Did you know you can get a free horse fairly early in Skyrim? You'll need to make your way up to Bleak Coast Cave. Once you get there, you're going to travel directly south, and you will see a campfire across the water with a horse. Once you mount the horse, it will become yours. However, there is a bug with the horse where when you dismount it, it will automatically try to travel back to Bleak Coast Cave. Did you know about the hidden merchant chests under Windhelm? To get these, you'll first need to get yourself a companion, and then you'll need to tell your companion that you need them to do something, and then have them wait in the marketplace of Windhelm. Without backing out of that menu, you're going to go past the cemetery to the first house on the left, and then to the right of the door, there will be a wall that you can walk through. Then you're just going to continue straight until you get outside of the castle, and then you're going to go around the left side all the way towards the water, and then turn left there. And then you're going to continue straight hugging the wall until you're able to turn left. After that, you should be able to look up and see the marketplace. And this is where you will find the chests, and all you're going to do is have your companion take what's inside of those chests. Did you know in Skyrim there's a hidden chest just outside of Solitude? When you're at the outside of the Solitude gate, all you're going to do is turn around and walk down through the second gate here, and then on the left by this giant boulder, you will see a tree, and then if you look in this exact spot where I am now, you will find a hidden chest underneath the ground. This chest contains all of the loot for the Khajiit caravans. Did you know there's a hidden chest in Skyrim just outside of Markarth? Once you're at the Markarth stables, you're going to turn around and go down towards the farms, and go past that until you find the area that the Khajiit caravans hang out. And then along the back of this rock wall is where you will find the hidden chest. This chest holds all of the loot for the Khajiit caravans. Did you know in Skyrim there's a hidden chest in Dawnstar that holds all of the loot for the Khajiit caravans? Once you get to Dawnstar, you're going to go straight and then turn right, going towards the Jarl's Longhouse, all the way down until you get to the entrance of the mine, and then on the left side of the mine, by this rock here, is where you will find the chest. Did you know the College of Winterhold in Skyrim has a secret chest that you can get? When you get to the College of Winterhold, if you go up to the Hall of Countenance and you go inside, there will be a magic aura in the center of the Hall of Countenance, and you're going to go along the right side here until you get to this line on the ground. And then you're going to want to sneak to avoid detection, because this does count as stealing. And then if you'll just hover the crosshair over the line, eventually you will find the hidden chest, and then you can just search that and take everything inside. Here's how to get higher tier weapons early in Skyrim. The first thing you're going to do is head over to Whiterun and go up to Jorvaskr. Once you're inside, you're going to make your way downstairs. Once you're downstairs, you're going to turn right and go all the way down to where Kodlak normally sits, and that's where you will find the higher tier weapons. Here's even more thief tips you probably didn't know about in Skyrim. If you want to sell your stolen items anywhere in Skyrim, you're going to need to get the Black Market Power from the Black Book Untold Legends. After that, you'll need to get the Fence perk in the Speech skill tree. This perk allows you to sell stolen goods to any merchant that you've invested in. But for some reason, you can't invest in the Black Market merchant, however, you can still sell stolen goods to him. We all know that when you get arrested in Skyrim, your stolen items are confiscated. But did you know in every jail there's an evidence chest where your stolen items are kept? In order to get these items back, you'll need to pick a master lock, which can be quite difficult. But once you do, you'll be able to retrieve your stolen items. Did you know you can pickpocket anyone without getting a bounty as long as you don't take anything from their inventory? So essentially, you can walk around and pickpocket everyone and browse their inventory to see who you want to steal from next. Here's the easiest way to transfer all of your items from one house to another in Skyrim. The first step is to take all of the items that you want to transfer to your other house. And then you're going to leave your house and then mount your horse. You can either summon Arvac or have a horse that you bought from a stable master. And because you've mounted your horse, you will now be able to fast travel, and you're free to fast travel to whichever house you want to. And then you can just unload all of your gear into your new house. Are you looking for the ultimate one-hand and shield build in Skyrim? Whether you're tanking Dragonfire or slashing through hordes of Draugr, this build has you covered. From selecting the perfect race to choosing the best gear, I'm going to show you how to create a character that can handle anything Skyrim throws your way. Let's get started. You have the choice between an Orc or a Breton. The best one-handed weapon in vanilla Skyrim is Chillrend. This weapon at its max rank makes targets take 30 points of frost damage. We also have the Shield of Solitude, which gives 30% magic resistance, and you can block 35% more. It turns out the best armor in Skyrim is the Daedric armor, as it has the highest base armor value of any other armor in the game. For the ring, we want the Ring of the Beast because it gives us plus 100 HP even if we're not in vampire form. We have the Amulet of Stendarr, which allows you to block 10% more. For the Standing Stone, we're going to choose the Lord Stone, which gives us 50 physical resistance and 25% magic resistance. Did you know about this secret quest in Skyrim? In order to find this secret quest, you're going to need to go southeast of Markarth to Old Hroldan. And then you're going to talk to the bartender and rent Tiber Septim's room. After that, you're going to go sleep in the bed. After you sleep, you'll hear the barkeeper scream. And then if you go out into the main hall, you will see a ghost sitting in a chair. This is a pretty cool quest, and I think you guys should go check it out. Did you know there's a hidden chest in Whiterun? In order to get to it, you're going to go from the main gate and go up the stairs on the left. Once you get up to the top of the stairs, you're going to continue on the path until you get to the house on the right, just before the big tree. And then if you go to the corner of this house here, you will fall through the map. And then if you turn around and find this hill underground, you're going to make your way over towards that. And then you're going to turn left and follow the water until you get underneath the city walls. And then you'll be able to glitch outside of Whiterun in front of the main gate. And then you're just going to continue following the wall all the way around until you get to the area just outside of the Skyforge. And then you're going to see this area of the map that's glitched out. You're just going to jump over that to this rock. And then if you hug the wall, you can squeeze between the rock and the wall and fall under the map once again. And then you will see the chest underneath of the Skyforge. Did you know your companions in Skyrim can pick locks for you? First, you'll need to give your companion a lockpick and then ask them to do something. After that, you're going to need to find the lock that you want picked, and then you're going to select that lock, and depending on their lockpicking skill, they may or may not be able to pick that lock. Did you know you can actually ride on the back of hawks in Skyrim? To do this, you'll need to find a hawk's nest. Once a hawk lands on the nest, you're going to jump on its back, and then once it flies, you will then be riding on the back of a hawk. Just be careful, as this can be really dangerous. Did you know you can boil water by using the Flames spell in Skyrim? I tried using the Spark spell to see if there was some other kind of effect that involves the water, but there is not. I also went to a large body of water to test it out, and it seems like boiling water only works with smaller streams of water. I'm going to show you how to do double damage with a single arrow in Skyrim. So normally when you bash attack an enemy with a bow, it does very little damage, but if you shoot an arrow at your enemy and then bash them, it acts as a second arrow has been fired, effectively dealing double damage. You can also sometimes get a critical strike on an enemy to get even more damage. Did you know you can cure diseases in Skyrim without even using a cure disease potion? Here's how. What you're going to do is go to the Solitude dock and use the Kind's Peace Shout, and this will knock the hawks out of the sky. Alternatively, you can use any spell or bow. On the hawks, you will find hawk feathers which cure disease, and they weigh significantly less than a cure disease potion. If you need healing potions in Skyrim, don't waste your gold buying them. Instead, you can find all of the ingredients you'll need in and around Whiterun. This includes blue mountain flowers, which can be found inside of Whiterun, and then wheat, which can be found just outside of Whiterun at the farms. You can use these two ingredients to create a potion of Fortify Health, which increases your health by 24 points, and it also restores 30 points of health, which are just slightly stronger than the potion of minor healing that you can buy from merchants.
Did you know you can use the Clear Skies shout in Skyrim to stagger enemies? And if you only use the first word in the shout, it only has a 5-second cooldown. Whereas if we compare it to the Unrelenting Force shout, the first word in that one actually has a 15-second cooldown. So the Clear Skies shout is definitely more spammable than the Unrelenting Force shout.
Did you know you can cancel your spell in Skyrim? Here's how. When you have the spell fully charged and ready to throw it, you're going to double click and that will cancel the spell. This is much faster and effective than pressing R to sheath your weapon. Did you know in Skyrim, if your companion is at their max carrying capacity, you can drop your items on the ground that you want them to pick up, and then you can tell them, I need you to do something, and then you just have them pick the item up, and then they will automatically pick it up, and it will say nothing about their inventory being full. Are you over encumbered in Skyrim? You might be able to fix that by dropping a stack of items and then holding that item by holding down E. This will make it so that you're no longer over encumbered, but you can still carry the item around. Just be sure to put the item back in your inventory before you go through a door. Did you know you can get even more gold when selling your items in Skyrim? Here's how. You're going to find a beggar in whichever town you're going to be selling in, and then you're going to give them 1 gold piece, and this will give you the gift of charity, which increases your speech skill by 10. Increasing the amount of gold you get for selling items. Did you know in Skyrim Anniversary Edition, you can become the champion of either the Imperials or the Stormcloaks depending on which side you chose during the Civil War questline? Once you have chosen a side during the Civil War quest, you will receive a message from a courier asking you to be the champion for either the Imperials or the Stormcloaks. This essentially has you go talk to your commanding officer and gather the armor required for this battle. The next step is to actually meet up with the rival champion and their men and then kill them all. After doing this, you can loot the enemy, and then you will have the Imperial Dragon armor as well as the Stormbear armor. So the armor you get isn't limited by the side that you choose in the Civil War questline. You also get a sword and shield as well as a two-handed weapon for each set of champion armor.
Did you know you can do a lot more with bear traps in Skyrim than simply disarming them and moving on? For example, you can actually pick them up and move them out of the way. Or if you're feeling a little crazy, you can actually attack an enemy with them. And one last thing, you can actually shoot the bear traps with arrows to disarm them as well.
Fall damage can be pretty annoying in Skyrim, but if you use the Become Ethereal shout right before impact, you'll become completely immune to fall damage. Did you know there's a way to avoid fall damage in Skyrim? All you need to do is drop items as you're falling. For some reason, when you drop an item, your character actually lands on the item for a second. This prevents you from taking any fall damage. Just be sure to do this every couple of feet as you're falling. Here's another free house you can get from the start of the game in Skyrim. This one is called Anissa's Cabin, and it's to the north of the Guardian Stones. There is a small garden outside where you can farm vegetables. And then moving on to the inside of the building, there is a bed that the player can sleep in, and then there is also a dresser and a cupboard that do not respawn, meaning you can store your items here without worrying that they are going to be reset or removed from the game. And then moving into the basement, we have an arcane enchanter as well as an alchemy lab. And then on top of it having an enchanting station as well as an alchemy lab, the containers in the basement also do not respawn. Do you want to level your sneak skill in Skyrim without even playing the game? Here's how. The first thing you're going to want to do is head on over to Dragonreach at the top of Whiterun. Once you're there, you're going to run up to the upper mezzanine above the throne room, and then you're going to come to this corner right here, crouch down, and then if you're on PC, you're going to press the Q button, and that will make you auto walk into the wall. And then if you're on console, you're going to find a way to have your left joystick constantly facing forward. That way your character is constantly moving. After you've done this, you can walk away from the game and come back in an hour or two, and you will be sneak level 100. Did you know that if you sit down in a tavern in Skyrim, a waiter or waitress will come over to serve you? Once they reach you, they'll start a conversation, and you can choose to buy from them. This can be really cool if you're role-playing. Here's 3 thief tips you probably didn't know about in Skyrim. Forsworn Briarhearts can be a tough enemy to fight in Skyrim. But did you know if you pickpocket the Briarheart out of their inventory, they instantly die? This is because the Briarheart in the inventory actually serves as the NPC's heart. And the cool thing about this is you can actually see where the Briarheart was located in their chest cavity. Sneaking can be incredibly slow in Skyrim, but if you unsheath your weapon, you'll move faster. But there's a way to move even faster than that while sneaking. You're going to need to go to the block skill tree and get the block runner perk. And then with the shield equipped, if you hold block, you will move way faster than you did before. And then if you want to sneak even faster than that, you can sheath and unsheath your weapon repeatedly to move even faster while sneaking. Did you know your companions in Skyrim can pick locks for you? First, you'll need to give your companion a lockpick and then ask them to do something. After that, you're going to need to find the lock that you want picked. And then you're going to select that lock, and depending on their lockpicking skill, they may or may not be able to pick that lock. Here's 3 more thief tips you probably didn't know about in Skyrim. You can sometimes get a 0% chance to pickpocket somebody. But did you know if you use the paralyze spell on them, even with a 0% chance, you can still take the item? All you have to do is wait for them to start moving after you paralyze them. This next tip is a bit controversial, as some players believe it to be true and some players believe it to be false. However, the tip is, if you're picking a lock, the lockpick actually breaks in the direction of the sweet spot on the lock. So for example, if I break the lock and the sweet spot is to the right, the lockpick will actually bounce to the right as it's breaking. But I'll let you guys decide on whether or not that's true. If you ever find yourself in a well-lit cave or dungeon, just look for any torches on the wall and take them. This removes the light source from the area and makes it easier for you to sneak around. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you guys would like to see more of on the channel. Right now, I have a couple of ideas, such as ranking some unique weapons in Skyrim, and then maybe even do like powers and shouts and maybe standing stones. I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Thanks again for watching, guys. If you did make it this far and you are still watching, I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. We also just hit 10K, so go ahead and leave a thumbs up for that. But other than that, I'm Nate, and I'll see you in the next one.